music in 60 minutes. It's showtime. In this dazzling presentation, three professionals from the music industry will show us how it's to compose, orchestrate, and create music for games using virtual instruments. Let's welcome Antonio Teoli, composer at Andromeda Sound, Jether Garotti Júnior, composer at Andromeda Sound, and Shota Nakama, composer at Soundtrack LLC. Hello!
Hello.
Hello.
How are you guys doing?
Hello, guys. Please feel free. The screen is totally yours.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, welcome aboard. Thank you very much, you guys, for joining us tonight on this amazing event. And congratulations to Big Festival for putting all of this great and unique stuff all together. And well, so today we are here with two great friends of mine, Jether Garotti Júnior, a big Brazilian orchestrator, maestro, and Shota Nakama, super famous game composer, working in amazing projects like Final Fantasy 15 and Kingdom Hearts and so many other stuff. So today we are here to talk to you guys and show a little bit of the process when it comes out to sketching a music, orchestrating a music and making the music sound like with the virtual instruments. So Shota, Jether, you guys want to say something? You guys want to add something?
Yeah, well, thanks for the grand introduction. It's honor to be here at the big festival. I think I went to the big festival. What was it, Antonio? Like
2017.
17, yeah.
We played together with Gerard Marino, this God of War composer. Yeah.
Yep. And yeah, it's good to be back. It's been like 4 years now, but although I can't be there physically, but I'm very happy to be a part of it again.
Yes, hello everybody. It's a pleasure to be here. It's my first time this festival. I'm a arranger, composer, and I work here in Brazil. I'm from Campinas. I'm living in Campinas, and I work a lot of famous artists from music from MPB, Brazilian music in scenario here in Brazil.
That's awesome. Awesome. And since we're talking about Brazil, since Brazil is one of our proudness, or proud things in Brazil, so we were together a couple of minutes before the event start, and we decided that we would like to live compose Brazilian music because we are Brazilians. Shota is not Brazilian, but he's Brazilian on his heart. He knows that, and so because our time is very short, we have to do a very short piece for you guys. So I'm gonna share my screen and I'm gonna show to you guys what we are working on right now. And nothing here is planned. Everything is like live and improvised. So you guys will see a real situation when it comes out to compose, okay? So basically, can you guys hear the sound? It's coming hot. Let me see here. Can you guys hear the sound?
Yes.
Yep. Okay, so there we go. So again, Brazilian. So I started with a very simple chord progression, which is this one here. Originally was in G minor for those who are musicians. We did a G minor chord progression. So basically, so very simple chord progression. And then this just came out like no joke, like 20 minutes ago, a little bit before the event start, because again, we knew our time was going to be super short. So I composed this chord progression. I'm not gonna go down in details like the technical aspects to it, but basically it's a very traditional bossa nova Brazilian music. And I presented to Shota and Jether, and Shota and Jether already gave us some ideas, and they added like a melody here. Jether played a melody, so I'm gonna play to you guys the very, very first sketch of the music piece. So here it goes. So there you go. So that's the music piece, very Brazilian, a little bit bucolic, but you know, because we are the last presentation of Big, we knew from the beginning it had to be something Brazilian. And because of that, we decided to call the music Bossa Nakama. So that's the name of the music that we did it. And then, so what happens on the process is that after the composer sketched the music, we send the music to the orchestrator, which in our case here on our pipeline is Shota. So Shota, if you want to tell the people what you'll be doing with this, that would be fantastic.
Okay, so let me tell you about the process. This is a hard one, guys. So let me share my screen just a little bit, and here is what I made. This is a template that I made, and I reduced the orchestration, the instrumentation just a little bit so that like it's less taxing, because we have only a very limited time. So we have some woodwinds, flute and B-flat clarinet, which are pretty typical instruments for Brazilian music. And I just kept the horns and timpani and that stuff, just in case I might use them, and harp, piano, violins, and strings and stuff. And you see all the piano chords that are played here, and all the melodies imported to the flute part. And from here on, I do some embellishments and just make it kind of nice, I think. But just keep in mind, like usually, like when you receive sketches from a composer, you receive more than this. Usually, like there's like a little more or less complete stuff that's happening. So just keep in mind, this is not like something. This is not as scary as like how it is in the real life. Antonio was just so lazy, and he just wanted me to suffer this time.
That is true. The reality is like, I want to see how good Shota is. So I said, I'm going to screw him and let's see what this guy will come up with.
Oh boy. Yes, I think so. Well, I think what's going to happen is, so I orchestrate, I'm going to just like add little things here and there and make it nice. And I pass it on to Jether, and he can do the rest, I guess.
Yes. I will put in all the MIDI files in the Logic, and press all the tracks to the instruments, and take a little bit humanizing and sounding more natural in the mock-up to sound more realistic.
Great.
So that's great. And Jether, if you want to share your screen, show to the people what your project's looking like right now.
Okay, let me see here. Can you see my template?
Yeah.
Okay. This is a big template that I made to make a big sound orchestra, but I will use, like Shota says, I will use just a little bit instruments to make it sound more Brazilian, more Brazilian way. And I have put here some drums, brush, and acoustic bass to make a sound more Brazilian, bossa, more
Some Brazilian
bossa,
some Brazilian elements.
It's not how you're thinking. It's just the song, okay?
And there we go, and that's what we'll be working here live today, guys. So I already did my part. Now,
Dude,
Shota,
that's so cheating.
come on, man, you can do it. You can do it. I don't care. That's it. Just so we have the chord progression and the melody, and as Shota said, usually we at least send the sketch, sometimes using the instruments that we intend to have in the final version. So in our case, we will have the strings sessions from Shota, which is violins, violas, cello, bass, and also we'll have some horns, possibly, and also the melody possibly will be played by some woodwinds instruments. So usually flute and clarinet. And Jether, in the meantime, will play this music on the piano, and he will also add drums, so a bass line, and some other flourish there, and then incorporate what Shota did. So yeah, so if you guys have any questions to us right now, we definitely can answer that. And I don't know if you guys can send us the questions, so please feel free to do it. Or if you don't have questions, we can tell funny musical jokes here.
I will put my microphone in mute to make some changes here. And you, with your big glass of wine, you can tell them the jokes, okay?
Cheers.
Yes. Look at this.
I'm sorry, it's Saturday night here, and I think we all deserve a wine. I mean, it's not night technically here in Los Angeles. It's still sunny, but it's considerably nighttime.
Okay, I'll be back.
All right.
Yeah, me too.
So, okay, so now I'm freaking alone. So guys, send us the questions. If you have questions, just let us know. And if you don't have questions, I can definitely, give you guys some extra information regarding music composition for video games. So let me share with you guys a presentation that I have here. Just give me 30 seconds to find. And I will feed you guys some information regarding the elements that we all taking into consideration when we are composing music for video games. So let me just open my Keynote here, find a file. All right, maybe it's on separated hard drive, but it's all right, I care about it. So usually, for those who don't know me, I've been composing music for video games since 2002. I started very early in Brazil. The Brazilian industry was actually almost like, was almost nothing. There's no comparison with what we have today. And I started very early doing music for what we used to call ad games. So basically music for games that were games created for advertisement. Now the industry grew up so much, and we have games for being developed in Unity, Unreal, so everyone has access to those amazing tools. Back in the days, we didn't have those great game engines. And not just the game technology evolved, but also the techniques to compose music for video games. So basically, every time I started composing a music for a video game, the first thing that I like to check is the storytelling. So all of us, as a game composer, all of what we do, it's basically tell a story. And I'm talking in here and trying to find a presentation for you guys. I'm trying to improvise here, and that's what happens when you're the last presentation in the night. Things gets a little bit crazy. So let me see. I definitely think I can find that somewhere here. Okay, maybe on this PDF. I think I found it. Let's just see. Just give me 1 second. Okay, it's one of these here. Yeah, so there we go. Let me share my screen very quickly. All right. So, you know, like when you decided to become a game composer, at least for me, the most important thing is the storytelling of the video game. So that's our function here on this big system that creates video game. So there is a storytelling on the game, and we need to emphasize the storytelling through our music notes. And I like to tell my my directors, sorry, this is in Portuguese, but I'm going to say in English, that music is based director's voice sent to the players through our music notes. So the director will tell exactly what the players need to feel on particular moments. Again, just like a regular game situation, regular professional situation here on Big, we decided to do a Brazilian music to pay homage to our amazing Brazilian event. So the first I take into consideration, as I said, is the storytelling, right? The second thing that I personally take into consideration when I'm composing, it's the character. So who is the character? Is the character a human being? Is the character like a cartoon? Is the character an animated, creature from some weird dimension? And also, what is the place time that the game happens? So if this was a situation where we are composing for a game that happens in Brazil, right, with what we had in mind, that would completely be useful and apply very well. Another thing that I like to do when I start composing, it's define the instrumentation that we're going to use. And usually this happens on the orchestral process. So like right now, Shota is orchestrating and Jether is already adding musical, the band instruments like drums and bass. So that's a very important thing, which is also connected to the colors. So if usually we work on a game that is colorful, we like to say we have a very colorful instrumentation as well. If we're working on a very monochromatic, gray tone scale, let's say, or a dark tone scale, maybe not so much, in terms of variations of the instrumentation. Now, because we are from Brazil, including Shota, as I say, Shota is Brazilian in its heart, we definitely are going to make this a very colorful music, a very happy music, even though the chord progression is kind of like bucolic, but the instrumentation will definitely be very colorful as well. The other thing we like to take into consideration while we are composing for video games is the dynamics of the video game. So is the game a constant fast-paced game, like let's say like a racing game, or is there some kind of variations where there are speed moments, fast moments, and slow moments like Sonic, right? Sonic is a game where basically you have moments where you have to run, and sometimes you have moments that you need to basically explore a little bit of the environment, right? So all of these elements are taken into consideration. And the last thing is basically the direction from the director, the target audience. So our music will be listened by, teenager people or old people, pro gamers, et cetera, and the budget. So basically, this is what we take into consideration while we're composing. And talking about composing, I know Shota is doing a very complicated thing there. But,
dude,
come on, Shota,
I want the tempo to be faster.
Go for it, man. Just check with Jether. Jether, can the tempo be faster on your side as well?
1 more minute, please.
Isn't it more like because it's like it's like sort of like bossa nova, but like I feel like it just like needs to be a little faster.
100, 110, 115.
Let me see. Let me play back and just hear.
Shota, if you want to share your screen.
No, it's like, okay, yeah, sure, why not? Hold on. This guy is a very nice moderator. So I got to hear, and usually, like when I do the orchestration stuff, I try to complete the strings first, and of course it's easier to do like the violin, the top line, and also the cello, or like double bass, the lower stuff. And I nicely added all these like expression as well. So the violin's pretty much done at this point, and the melody.
That was fast.
Yeah, and I actually raised the flute an octave higher because the original octave, this is too low. It's too low for the instrument to like bring out the nice thing about the flute, because this will just not be heard. It will be very quiet. So if you go up an octave, yes, we got some like pretty high notes here, but this will be like, they will cut through, the player will cut through. So everybody will clearly hear that flute is the instrument in the show. Yeah, and I'm just like doing like a violin, sort of like a counter medley, a little bit lower than that. And sometimes I do unison, like this part, and also towards the ending, I do that as well. And the cello, I'm just gonna probably minimize it. I'm still like doing a little bit things here and there, but I don't think I'll do too much, because like the low end probably will have like some kind of bass and drums. So like if I do too much there, it will be just very muddy.
Agree.
Yeah. So yeah, there you have it. And let me keep working on it.
All right. There we go. Awesome. And by the way, we have some questions coming to us. So Jether, if you want to share your screen and show a little bit of your progress there, maybe play a little bit live for, like, so we can see how we're doing that. That would be fantastic.
Yeah, here I put some drums and bass, and I'm thinking about the comping, the piano comping stuff, just a little bit.
This sounds like a backing track music.
We should make this commercial.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I can definitely see we're taking the place from Ima Girl and being famous with this. There we go.
Yeah, very fast, but I will put the piano making the comping right now.
All right, so Jether, do you mind like showing, if you're okay, like leave your screen sharing for a couple of minutes and show your work in progress in real time for us?
Okay.
While they send us the questions, just
no
I'm just gonna double check the volume of your project, because I think it was your sounds kind of coming a little bit low.
Just a bit. Okay. Let me hear. Let me see.
Yeah, like I just want this song to be like pumping, and you know what I mean? It's like, I guess that contradicts the title of the song, though, because you're not gonna hear that in bed.
That is true. Oh my God, that is true. And see, guys, that's a real reality here. That's when we fight with people inside the team. That's like when you kill each other.
Yep.
It's like the disagreement shows up, and then we just fight with everything we got. But I think fast would be great too. So okay, I'm gonna.
Okay, I will change some stuff, because yeah.
Better.
Yeah, but I think it's coming through your microphone, man.
No, I think it sounds fine. I think his mic is on or something, right? Maybe that's why.
I should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you mute your microphone, then it should be fine.
let me make some noise here. Wait a minute.
All right. Yeah, I think it's coming through your microphone. Are you sharing the sound on Zoom?
Yes.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, no, it's working. It's working. It was just, yeah, it's good. Now you're on mute, Jether. That's great, Jether. That's great. All right. Oh my God, you guys are rocking. Okay, so Jether, I'm gonna answer some questions. You and Shota go for it in the meantime. So we have some questions here. Right now we have 5 questions. So what are the most used instruments for composing games? That's a very difficult question because it depends on so many, stuff in the, on about the game you're composing for it. So basically, if you are composing like a Final Fantasy game or like a World of Warcraft game, you're definitely gonna use lots of orchestral sounds. And there are some instruments in the orchestra that are more popular than another or more commonly used for, like, let's say the traditional epic fantasy music. So there'll be a lot of horns, a lot of trombones, trumpets on the brass section. On the strings, it's like, honestly, they pretty much use everything. I would say the cello and violins are commonly used, especially the cello when it comes down to create and what we call an ostinato, which is a repetition of a rhythmic pattern. So it's hard to tell what are the most used instruments for composing games. So yeah, it really depends on the game. And sometimes you have a lot of space and a lot of space to explore and try out some new stuff. So if you are composing your first game, the best thing to do is honestly find some reference that the game designer and the game director is, maybe a fan or believe it work really well in the game, and go from there. It's good for devs. I don't understand the second question. Wolfram tones is good for devs that know music. Other suggestion? I don't know what does that mean. Do you know anything called Wolfram tones, Shota?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what that means. Sorry. If you want to rewrite the question, I will definitely be gonna answer you. So question number 3 is, how early in the game development process do you get to the task to create the music? So that's something that also changes from game to game, right? Usually, I would say the majority, and if Shota wants to confirm or share his experience, the majority of the time, the music composing, it's usually one of the last steps on the game development. There are some very, not very rare, but few cases where the composer jumps in the beginning of the process of the game development. And one very famous case is the game Journey that Aussie Wintory composed the music. So Aussie Wintory was invited to do the main theme from day one of development of the game. So for me, that's one of the biggest reasons why the Journey soundtrack is so good and so interconnected with the game itself. So yeah, I don't know if Shota wants to share. I don't know, Shota is busy, but if he usually.
It depends. I think it depends on the company and also how friendly you are with them. Because some companies, yes, like in my past experience, some companies have actually showed me like wires, like the before the games become games, like you see the wire action and stuff.
Like
and I've
alpha stage, right?
Yeah. I've seen those, and for example, when I worked on Lightning Returns, the Final Fantasy 13-3. I was sent the ending scene beforehand, and they sent me the ending video and say like, okay, here it is, and make it epic, blah blah blah, and just we want to portray like this kind of like journey ends at this place. I couldn't tell where it was because obviously there was no background, but yeah, to just help you guide through the music making, and it's very helpful. Believe it or not, like Antonio and I are actually working on a film right now, and we have the rough cut of the film, and it's tremendously helpful than like just having, I don't know, MP3. Right, Antonio?
Yes, thank you for that, Shota. That was very insightful. That was great, man. Yeah, we are working on a very, very cool movie right now. Can't wait for you guys to watch. Super cool. So the question number 4 is, if I really don't know a thing about music, but want to work with a musician on my game, what tips can you give me? How do I express my vision without getting in your way? That's a fantastic question. That's a great question. I'm pretty sure that me, Shota, and Jether, we have so many funny stories about how sometimes we get the feedbacks from our clients. So I've got feedbacks from clients say, can you make my music sound more like ice cream? Or can you make my music sound more blue or pink? That kind of stuff. And this is perfectly fine because it's really a matter of interpretation. So we don't expect any directors or game designers to come at us and say, hey, you can use like the Lydian mode here on this section because I love Lydian mode. Or, hey, can you go minor instead of major? We don't expect that. Instead of that, we definitely prefer to hear from you in terms of feelings. Like, can you make the music more sad? Can you make the music more epic? Or can you make the music more hopeful? That kind of stuff. Usually when it's around adjectives, it is usually good enough to guide us on direction. And sometimes we also work with some reference. Sometimes like the client goes like, hey, can you make this? I don't know which instrument that's making can you make something like that in our music as well? So that happens too. So definitely don't expect you to know the music theory, but having a great communication about what you want the music to give to the audience in terms of storytelling, that's very important, especially if you are the main game designer or the creative director. You know better than anyone else what's the message the music should send. So yeah. Okay, I'm not gonna bother Shota because we have very little time here, and they're doing a fantastic job, guys. So let's wait for them to finish their magic. So I will keep answering the message. So I have 20 minutes to choose. Question number 5, how can a traditional musician migrate to games? That's another great question. You know, I bet Shota as well, and we receive a lot of questions by, let's say, traditional musicians, like or band musicians, asking, "Hey, how can I jump into the video game industry?" And this is it's not an easy answer, but it's not a hard one as well. So what I want to say is that basically composing for a music for a band, composing a music for yourself, it's something completely different, you know, in terms of composing for some other project, someone else's feeling, someone else's story. And also how can you tell the story and create, you know, by creating a dynamic music in that project, right? And when I talk about dynamic music, I'm talking about musical layers being activated and deactivated constantly depending on what happens in the game, or working with singers, or working with micro pieces of music that are very modular and can go like jump to another section of the music without breaking up the rhythm, or, you know, change the layers in the meantime. So this is the biggest difference for sure in terms of being a traditional musician, right? Versus a game composer. So just keep that in mind. Where do I find and how to introduce yourself to a game music contractor? To a game music contractor. So I'm assuming you must be like a musician and you want to work with someone that works for video games, and you want to work for a game composer. Is that so? I don't understand the question very well, but yeah.
I think the question means that like he's probably a performer, musician,
yeah,
and he's looking for a contract to hire him as either as a composer or performer.
Yeah, if that's the case, well, Shota can answer that better than me, because he works with so many musicians.
Oh my God, like you're making me like a multitask all the time.
Come on, dude, you can do that. I cannot.
Oh man. Okay. Yes. So, well, first of all, when I hire people, I always take recommendations from like my friends. And that's number one thing that I do, because you can't really, there are some rare instances where when I went to like concerts, like live shows, which don't exist yet, and found like really, really incredible players that I want to hire and hire them. But normally, I talk to my friends and try to find the best players for certain gigs, because, you know, one thing will never change. Great players always hang out with great players. So if you ask a great musician, hey, do you know anybody who can play saxophone or violin or whatever the instruments are? And they're likely to introduce you to somebody who's as great as them. So like you want to be in that circle and just, you know, play gigs and make friends and try to, you know, kind of be in the circle. I think that's the best way.
There we go. There we go. That's the answer for the one and only Shota Nakama. Now Shota will focus on finish this in 10 minutes and send to Jether. So Jether can incorporate. Jether, how are you doing there, Jether? You're doing good?
Jether is not here now. You can leave the after the tone.
There we go. You know, guys, let me just tell you one thing, because this is the first time, as far as I know, in the world that we have live collaborative process of composing, orchestrating, and making the mock-up. This is so difficult. so difficult. I believe that's why nobody ever did that before. So always remember, if you guys see this here, what we're doing right now, and somewhere else where people are working together, composing, orchestrating, arranging, and creating the mock-up, the first time you are seeing this is here at the festival. And I'm not being paid to say that, but I'm saying that from my heart, because Big Festival is freaking awesome, and these guys are just breaking all the barriers, and like, they're legends. All right, so moving on to the questions while our warriors work on that. So does the independent game music composer need to know programming, Unity, or a region? I would say no, but it is good if you know, because some clients can expect you to implement the music in the game. So knowing a little bit about it, it's definitely important, especially when you're working with indie developers where people have many hats, where you have like game designer being like also level designer, also sometimes artist as well. And you have like composer being sound designer, audio engineer, and also implementing the sound. So I definitely would recommend you to learn a little bit of Unity or Unreal. You don't have to learn how to program crazy stuff, but knowing how at least how stuff work in the game, it's very important. Let me tell you one thing very, very, very interesting. At least for me, I think it's interesting. When I study music since I was very young, and I was sure that before the university, right? I was like, I said, I am going to study music in the university so I can become a game composer. But funny enough, when the game course in the AMB Morumbi started, it was the very first game design course in the whole Latin America, and I was from the very first class. So we were the Red Labs, and it was great. And the reason why I did it, it was because I really wanted to understand the perspective of a game designer, and then use this perspective to compose music. Of course, you need to know how to compose music. There is the necessity of knowing how to, knowing music theory, knowing, the tech stuff composing like JAWS, which is what Jether is using. It's good to have an idea about orchestration as well, and so on and on. But knowing how your sound will play in the game and what are the hooks, what are the elements that will trigger your sound, how your music will actually, marry this perfect marriage between picture and sound, it is very important, very important. So I definitely recommend learning a little bit of audio programming and maybe a little bit of game design as well, so you can understand a little bit of the game designer's language. So what are the games that you worked on? So I'm gonna answer, because I know Shota is going crazy there, so I'm gonna answer that for Shota. If you have something, because I am a fan of Shota as I am a fan of Jether. So Shota worked on Kingdom Hearts 3, Final Fantasy 13, Final Fantasy 15, Captain Tsubasa, as far as I know, and there are so many projects. He worked on Tales of Asteria, and my God, is anything other big name I'm forgetting here, Shota?
The thing we're working on.
The thing we are working on, which is, that's like, we cannot even think about, because we can let this run through our thoughts. But yeah, there's something big coming out.
We can't tell yet. And also I worked on, like, there's like live action film that I worked on, and also like some TV commercials, bunch of games. I can't even remember. There are so many things, but like Jason Becker stuff was great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And Antonio and I got to work with this legendary guitar player, Jason Becker. And we orchestrated his music, and we flew to Bulgaria and just like had the greatest time of our life.
That was amazing. By the way, I've got to be fair here. Shota orchestrated the whole thing. I was there just helping him, like very, very little stuff. Shota was the mastermind behind that. He was the one who made everything happen. And also, for those who don't know, Shota has an amazing game concert called Video Games Orchestra. So make sure to check it out, the website. No joke, guys. It is fantastic. It is amazing. My favorite is the Metal Gear Solid version that they did. It's fantastic. So search around Google on YouTube. Search on YouTube and you'll see. And not to mention, Shota is also an amazing guitar player as well. Now, Jether is also super fantastic. Jether is working on the games more now with us at Andromeda, but Jether is known more for his work on the soap operas in Brazil, like Velho Chico, Dois Irmãos, and he is also the master and orchestrator and arranger for 30 years of ZZ Posse, which, as you guys know, it's a fantastic and very famous musician and artist in Brazil. So 30 years. He also conducts for the, I think it's the Philharmonic of Rio de Janeiro, something like that. The name of the orchestra, Jether, that you conduct in Rio, I think.
Porto Alegre.
Porto Alegre.
Porto Alegre.
There we go. So Jether is like a great maestro, an amazing composer. I am honestly thrilled to be among those guys. And we are working together on the Lore Dore Galinha Pintadinha Mini. Jether is doing all the music composing. I'm doing the production side. And we have Giovanni Webster doing the sound design as well. So as you guys know, it's a very famous Brazilian animation for kids. Very cool stuff. And yeah, so that answers your question. And we have 12 minutes, I believe, something like that. Maybe a little bit less than that. So.
Okay, let me just finish the horns because I'm just like so close to be done. I just wanted to add, it's my orchestration ego.
All right, okay, great. So you're gonna send that after. So Shota will finish his piece and we'll send actually, Jether, do you prefer the PDF from Shota or the MIDI notes?
MIDI notes matter is more faster.
Yeah, I'll send you both. I can send.
There we go.
Yeah.
So, by the way, guys, let me just turn on my light because it's getting freaking dark here. Just give me 1 second.
Are you drinking wine?
I am.
A lot.
Jesus Christ, man!
Dude, you think it's season? I am improvising here, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. Okay, wait, 5 minutes to end? Oh my God. I thought we were going to...
I know.
Okay, all right. So I'm gonna answer the next questions. In my case, I worked on the game Domain, Stormbound. I worked on a game co-developed by Nintendo called Good Job, which came out last year. It's one of my favorite projects. And of course, I'm working with those amazing gentlemen here. And I don't remember everything, but yeah, there's so much stuff. I recommend studying for those who are starting now and want to learn composition for games. Well, if you were down, I don't want to sell my fish here, but I have an online school called Game Audio School. So it's basically gameaudioschool.com. It's an online school that teaches how to create audio for video games. We have a new course made by Jether, which is orchestral template as well. The courses are right now in Portuguese, but we are planning to expand to English, Spanish, and if Shota jumps with us, I made the invitation to Japanese as well, because I think we can do great together.
Yes.
And yeah, so.
Okay, I'm done.
All right, cool.
I made it a little bit smaller than what I wanted, but I think this is good enough for the purpose. And if there's a mistake, Jether is gonna fix it.
I will try.
So, hold on. Okay, I think it's good to go. See, like I can even print out the parts now because my score is so clean, and I even have like live players because that's my. Oh shit!
There we
I
go.
forgot to add like one question. Sorry, give me a second.
All right, go for it. Okay, guys from the
no.
big, is there any chance for us to go until midnight so we can make sure we can show the finished version before the end of this?
Of course, we have time.
Come on, guys. It's the last one. I know you guys are probably like having some wine there as well. So if you can go until noon, until midnight, that would be great.
Okay, so Jether, how should I send it?
Send to the chat.
The chat, yes.
Okay. What is this file name? Okay. Oh shit. Yeah.
Okay, we just got a message. We just got a message in caps lock saying we have until midnight. So there we go.
Great. That's good to know. All right. I'm going to send it to you. All right. Wait, why is it not sending? Okay, I'm gonna upload to Dropbox and send you guys the link. So hold on.
I think the MIDI to the chats maybe faster.
Yeah, for some reason it didn't go.
Oh, okay.
So big 2021.
So guys, what we're doing basically, just if you are feeling lost, Shota finished his part. We're just gonna, Jether now will get Shota's part and we'll incorporate on his Logic project. And Jether, if you want to, once you import the MIDI, if you share your screen and let your screen share so people can see how it's going. I think it's the coolest way. And yeah, guys, let's see if we have time, and hopefully we will, to show you how is the finished version. If you want to play what we have in the meantime, Jether, so people can listen to it, that would be great.
All right, my party's done.
Okay.
How was it, Shota?
Oh boy. I can show you like what I did, and I've never done this before.
Yeah, so Jether will get the file. Jether, stop sharing your screen for a second and go for it.
Yeah, I
just have 6 minutes, guys.
I sent the Dropbox link. So I'm pretty sure like if you import it, it should work fine. And just quickly what I did, I'll show you guys. So here's a PDF score. And the melody, I reduced it to just a flute and kept the horn, solo horn, and vibraphone. It just, you don't need that. I just had it for the chord progression sake, but piano was kind of boring. So like I just said, vibraphone. And violins, I pretty much did like layered just the chords, but like, in certain places, like, whenever we change the structure and stuff, I'm adding like some passing tones just to like embellish it a little bit. And this highlight, when the flute goes into like super high register, I'm highlighting it with the kind of like, starting this ascending line with the strings, especially the violin one, doing this eighth note passage to like climb up to the preparing for the high point of the music, like right here. And so yeah, like here I'm doubling it. Whoops. Here I'm doubling it so that like the melody's like high point is maximized, the impact is maximized. And I'm doubling the viola with horn as well, so that it kind of just carries out a little bit more. And notice that like I'm just keeping the dynamics to like mezzo forte, so that like the flute actually rings out better. And I'm just like intentionally pulling down the player just a little bit. But I'm doing the attack here, accented note for the back of the beat, so that like it just happens like right at the targeted syncopation. And so like here, like it descends nicely. And I try to not put as many notes when the melody is playing a lot more notes. So, because otherwise it just becomes just too much, right? So flute has like a bunch of eighth notes and like a little faster lines. And so like I'm just doing this like kind of like river-ish, like nice slow descending notes to prepare for like the final showdown. Well, I shouldn't say showdown because it's kind of quiet ending. And from here on, and just goes to the ending, I'm just adding just nice triplets, like all bowed, like not slurred, so that like the crescendo just works better in that way. I think there's a little bit more, I wouldn't say punch, but like there's a little bit of power to climb up to the climax of the music, and that's it.
That's great. That's great, man. That's amazing. Well done, bro. And you know, like Jether, if you
I want to
share a
swear
screen-
so much. Right now.
I know, man. I know. And you know what, guys? We can do this. If by any means, like if we are cutting out here, you guys can listen to the final music. We can post like a video on our Instagram. So Instagram's Shota is Shota Wrist. So follow Shota there. My Instagram is at Tony Teoli, Tony. And Jether Garotti is Jether Garotti Júnior on Instagram. So we will post these on our stories, and you can listen to the final version there. But Jether, if you want to play before they cut us out,
I think we'll make it. I think he just has to place them in the right places.
Go for it. Toca aí, Jether. Toca com tudo, meu. No sound. No tem som. There's no sound. Come on, man.
No, they can give us like 10 more minutes. I think it's okay.
There is no sound, Jether.
Yes, big festival guys, please give us 10 more minutes or 5 more minutes. I think we can do it.
It's not balanced.
Okay, we're gonna play just one last time, guys. We're gonna play one last time here.
What the hell? Wait a minute. Faster than I can.
Okay, just play with. And again, we're gonna play the finished version. Okay, 2 more minutes. We can play this. 2 more minutes, guys.
Yes, please.
2 more minutes and we're done. 2 more minutes.
Yes, don't cut us off now.
2 more minutes,
Okay,
guys. Just so
2
we can-
minutes. There's no problem.
Yes, minutes. All right.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
there
you.
we go.
So much.
We just
Thank
put in
you.
the last steps here
Thank you
all
so
together.
much.
So we're gonna listen with everything on. So go.
I think you're playing it with the brass.
And there we go. We did it. Thank you so much, you guys. We did it.
I guess
Amazing!
we
This
did.
was amazing!
Oh my God, that was crazy.
Thanks to
man.
Antonio, Jether, and Shota. This was fantastic. I'm Nivi Stefan, and it was a great pleasure to be here.
Big Festival 2021, the biggest games festival in Latin America.